Hi all, Kyber1 here, and today we are doing Review 81. Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition, Basic Heroes Handbook. So, now, this is an essential introduction to the world's greatest superhero role-playing game. And, I'm sure that's opinion, just like D&D's the world's greatest role-playing game. And so, let's begin. Alright. So, this is really cool because it shows you exactly how to do things right there. Alright. It has an excellent breakdown. So, how you do things, you roll a d20, you add any modifiers like abilities, skills, effects, or special circumstances, and it gives you the page numbers for those. You compare your total to the number that determines the difficulty, also called the DC or difficulty class. And I really like that terminology, difficulty class, because it makes more sense and everything has a difficulty class. So, learn how to play, page 6. Create a character, page 12. Play the game, page 68. Run a game, 88. Sample adventures, 99. Pre-made villains, 112. So, this is by far my favorite superhero supplement of all time because it is really well done. Table of contents. It goes through an actual comic book style layout of how the game works. Love it. How to play. Rule number 1. Have fun. Rely only on the rules so long as they help everyone have fun. Rule number 2. Have a good time, but the other half is to make sure to have fun as well. Yeah. So, you need a character sheet, dice, notes, people. How to make checks. And so they talk about difficulty classes, opposed checks, degrees of success, attack checks, resistance checks, team checks, and routine checks. So the cool thing here is opposed checks is when two characters are facing off each other and they are both skilled. And the degrees of success is how well you succeed, obviously. And then attack and resistance are different depending on if you're doing something with variety or you have a chance to better withstand something. Team checks, obviously, when you partner up with somebody to do something. Like, say, Cyclops and Wolverine, they have this banter going on, and Wolverine needs to get behind Omega Red. So Cyclops blasts him, and then because Cyclops appears to be the bigger threat, Omega Red's facing him, and then Wolverine goes from behind and chops him with the adamantium claws behind the knees. That would be a team check. Routine check. It's basically like your everyday life thing, like jumpstart a car. Example of play. How to make a character. So, imagine a character concept, choose an archetype, choose abilities, choose skills, choose advantages, choose a power suite, add defenses, choose complications. 8 steps to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different archetypes. And they are Crime Fighter, Energy Controller, Gadgeteer, Mystic, Paragon, Powerhouse, Primal, and Speedster. So, oh boy. Wrong tube. So, one of the things we have going here is, well, you have the same exact process for creating a character. There are different point values in the different categories you have. For instance, Crime Fighter, the abilities are 33448421, but then you have 02433022. So you have nowhere near an 8 for abilities for the energy controller. And you have the same steps, but every section has its own value. This book does not discuss point value, though. But all of these characters are balanced according to the standard creation process in the Deluxe Heroes Handbook. And so this helps take away a layer of complexity. So let's look at what we have here. You write down the following ability ranks, and then you select one of the character types: brooding, clever, or observant for Crime Fighter. And then you write down your defenses, and then you gain these automatically: close combat, unarmed, or weapon at a rate of 6, stealth of 4. And then you select 2 areas you have studied and record those: academics, athletics, hard knocks, investigation, larceny. So, and then you automatically gain these advantages in the light blue: defensive roll 4, improved initiative, jack of all trades, power attack, ranged attack 7, and well informed. And then you select 3 words that describe your character from the list below. Record the 2 advantages each provides: confident, defensive, fortunate, indomitable, focused, relentless, scientist, shadow, squirrely, trickster. Power suite: select 1: archer, detective, or martial artist. And each one of the power suites has a variation of what it is you can do with it. So, with martial artist, this one I thought was interesting because advantages: select 3 additional words that describe your character from the advantages list. Record the 2 advantages each provides. So, let's create Batman, for example. Abilities, obviously, record that. And then, is Batman brooding, clever, or observant? I mean, it depends on the type of Batman you go for. I mean, yes, he is brooding. Yes, he is clever. And yes, he is observant. So, for ours, I'm going to say he's clever because he wants to maintain a low presence until it's needed. And he's a detective, so with the intelligence, that works. Those defenses, and then automatically gain those 2. And then which 2 areas is he versed in? Academics, athletics, hard knocks, investigation, or larceny? Well, I'm going to say investigation. And probably academics, because technology of 8. So he really does his own sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay, advantages. What describe Batman? Focused, relentless, scientist. And then let's go with martial artist so we gain 3 more. Shadow, Squirrely, and defensive. I mean, because he's got to get out of the way. So, yeah, I mean, you really decide what sort of character you're going for, and you have all of this across 2 pages for all 8 character types. So in 16 pages, you have 8 character types with a lot of customization and variability. The energy controller, you could be confident, disciplined, or hot-headed. And a good example of an energy controller would be Starfire from Teen Titans or other DC properties. Skills, athletics, charm, observation, piloting, or subterfuge. You get 2 of those again. Advantages. 2 words instead of 3 that describe for advantages now. Aggressive, commanding, cooperative, intimidating, mobile, precise, and wisecracker. And then for Power Suite, you have Avatar, Blaster, or Elementalist. So Starfire would be a Blaster type. Or possibly Avatar. It really depends on how you go about it, but realistically, this isn't a class locked system. So powers are powers, but you have an archetype, you have a theme. The Gadgeteer, agent, genius, thrill seeker. Skills, you have business, investigation, mysticism, mechanics, science, sports. Advantages, select 3: aggressive, loyal, inspiring, inventive, nimble, resourceful, or tactical. The Power Suites go artifact bearer, gimmicks, or power suit. Lex Luthor would be a good example of this. Mystic. So Zatanna. You have late bloomer, prodigy, or worldly. For skills, once again, it's choose 2. It's always choose 2 for skills. Brawling, influence, investigation, stagecraft, medicine, or subterfuge. Advantages, pick 2. Bold, charming, controlled, scholarly, or tactical. For Power Suite, psychic, sorcerer, or vessel. So Zatanna would be more of a sorcerer, or sorceress, really. Paragon. Think Captain America or Superman. You have inspiring, observant, or steady. Skills, athletics, command, crisis response, investigation, scholar, or tactics. And this scholar may not be the same as another scholar. Every variant is worth a point value according to the archetype. The archetype defines point spins. Advantages. Pick 2. Compassionate, controlled, encouraging, fair-minded, impatient, indomitable, or quick. Powerhouse. Think the Hulk. You have big, cautious, or gentle. Skills, academics, games, interrogation, observant, piloting, sports. Advantages. Pick 2. Driven, lucky, overbearing, protective, precise, and unstoppable. Power Suite, you have brick, construct, or metamorph. So the Hulk would be a metamorph. Brick would be the Thing from the Fantastic Four, and construct would be like Cyborg, for instance, or something else. Primal, Vixen is a primal. You have Gallant, Hyper, or Tested. Skills, Academics, Gymnastics, Investigator, Manipulation, Mysticism, Tracking. Advantages, you pick 3. Alert, Brutal, Defensive, Fearsome, Shadow, Squirrely, Tricky, Urban, Power Suite, Arachnid, Carnivore, or Raptor. So, those are kind of themes here. Speedster. You have Experienced, High-Spirited, Intellectual. For skills, you have Charm, Investigation, Music, Science, Sports, Swashbuckling. Advantages, pick 2. Cautious, Combative, Lucky, Pacifist, Relentless, Sprightly, Team Player, and Trickster. Power Suite, you have Courser, Chronomancer, or Teleporter. So obviously, Quicksilver would be a speedster. Complications, you have a bunch of complications, and one of them, where is it? Relationship. Oh, Mary Jane, Aunt May. Yeah. And then this is obviously a reference when Green Arrow finds Red Arrow using drugs after Green Arrow and Green Lantern were out traveling America trying to figure out what was wrong with society. And the Green Lantern in that case was Jon Stewart. Yeah, so this is sweet. Like, all of the character creation rules do not break their sort of thing. There's some reused art from the first edition of Mutants and Masterminds. And then they have comic character rules. And I really like how it goes into the skills and everything, and then you have advantages, and it breaks everything down, and it leaves it simplified to the point where you don't need to know your point values in order to start playing right away. So it removes that level of complexity, and that's a double-edged sword, and the reason why it's a double-edged sword is because if you want to play later... Oh, nice. Reused from second edition. If you want to play later and further against more powerful odds, when your character's a bit more experienced, you have to get the other handbook. And the thing about that is, this is super easy to make great characters, but development requires another book. That being said, this is an excellent starter book. It's highly recommended. Character creation is fast and simple, and then figuring out what to do is just handed to you in a likable format. The power section is... Let's go back there. Like, enhanced trait, feature, damage, concealment. Oh, those are effects. Yeah. But there's so much to it where... let's say you're playing D&D. Everything's kind of very specific. But in this, when you create a power, that power is yours, and there's a variation of it outside of somebody else's pre-constructed ruling. So the how to play section, it goes in depth just enough to kind of figure out. And it's not that complicated. I like it. The system is D20 based. That's really all you need. And it gives credence to the superheroic level, which to me is beneficial, really. I mean, I wasn't into superhero role-playing games earlier because I tried out the hero system and I never got finished with character creation. And the game mastering section has some excellent advice. The yes and, the no but, and it goes over creating challenge scenes, conflict scenes, investigation, role play. So in this, it considers 4 different modes, and what's the challenge, the conflict, investigation, and roleplay. So it's more than just exploration, social, and combat. And in that aspect, I would say that this adds that layer of it's breaking the paradigm. Like you have your trinity of dexterity, intelligence, and strength, but then when you add wisdom into the mix, you have different character options, and that's kind of the way the game is more fleshed out, because you have that 4th section of just, oh yeah, this is a different experience being provided. It gets you into a different mindset, basically. And I think it's different enough from exploration, combat, and social that it deserves its own category. And then it goes over this adventure section, and then the rogues gallery, and this is well worth the price, ultimately, because you have a role-playing system in this book. You have hundreds, if not thousands, of options for different characters. I mean, it's an incredible value, and for $30, I cannot recommend this highly enough. I tried to keep it short and simple. I'm a little tired today, didn't get much sleep, but I hope you guys enjoyed that review and overview. And until next time, Carbon 1 out.